Wallaby Racing League Tier 2. We are here in COTA, and it's going to be an absolute banger of a night for you guys. We're here for a sprint round. So 10 laps of the sprint, and I believe it's 28 laps of the feature race. I can't remember. It was all a blur for me because I had a shocker. But we've got our two drivers out here tonight that I'm looking forward to seeing, and that is the drivers of Roshan Robot and JTM. Going to try and pull out some maximum points again for Alpine to compensate for the lads in Tier 4 and Tier 3 having an absolute shocker of a drive. We've got Offenhoof, who's stepped up from Tier 3 as a reserve to go and just to see how he can do against the Tier 2 lads. Currently sitting in P3. We've also got drivers like Kano and Lev, who I believe are going to try and pull something out of the bag to try and compensate for their mishaps in Singapore last week. Some being not their fault, others being unfortunate errors or being taken out, I believe it was. I can't remember exactly. But then we've also got new drivers in here. We've got a driver like this boy right here, the one in P1. Who is it? It is Ghost. Where is he? There we go. I don't know why that wasn't working. Alright, so Ghost up in here with the Ferrari, who is brand new to the grid, brand new to the league, only just joined tonight and has gone in as a reserve role for the Ferrari. Currently sitting in P1 with that 1:33.047. The closest driver behind him is Camillo in the AlphaTauri, just waiting to box to get that driver out of the way, as Ghost now comes into the pits. But Roshan Robot now puts it up into P1 with a 1:32.716. So an absolute blinding time for him with the Alpine. Now we're just going to wait to see where JTM can put it, to see if they can put it in 1-2 or 1-3, I believe it was for the last week mini-map. Yep, I'm on it. Now you'll have to forgive me as well, guys. I'm not feeling the best, so things are a bit stuffy. So just trying to deal with it. Oh, yes, Kano. So, yeah, Kano and Moshi Peas unfortunately do have a quali ban. So they will be starting from the back of the grid tonight to try and, see where they can try and put it back up to on top there. And drivers, who else we got? We've got Ognum, who's also new to the grid, who's also stepping in tonight. We did have Lurks, but he couldn't make it home in time, unfortunately. But Roshan Robot with that 1:32.716, currently sitting in P1. Only a few drivers out on track at the moment. We'll have a look. We'll scroll through them. But we've got Big Man Rye out in his outlap, Formula Fish out in his, JTM out in his. I'd be interested to see where he goes a bit later on. We won't focus too much on my drivers because it's a bit biased. But we've got Dale Bev out in a lap at the moment too. So I'm going to bring up the telemetry. There it is. So he used up 60% of his ERS now as he opens up his DRS. No, he's backed out of it by the looks of it. 62%, not using anything else. How you doing, Magic? So Dale Bev doing, oh no, as he goes around, just put a bit too much power down on those rears, and that will send you around very quickly as his teammate now, an AlphaTauri now tries to get past him, so he gets out of the way a little bit there. Nicely done. This track can be an absolute tyre killer as well. It's one that, your soft tyres, for instance, looking to push a maximum of about 7 laps, I believe it was. A game chat. Oh, cool. Yep. Thanks for that, Lefty. Appreciate it. Yeah, so soft tyres can go maximum about 6 to 7 laps before they really start to drop off. Obviously, if there's a safety car, you can push them that little bit longer. And obviously, if you are a driver who can manage their tyres, then maybe push them a few extra laps. But you want to try and avoid them as much as possible unless there's a really late safety car on the start. you're going to drop back a fair bit later on in the stint, as we saw in Tier 3. Drivers who were out on the softs with 7 laps in, really starting to fall off hard. So we've got Ozgokan, who's now cutting some grass to, well, I think he's doing it to get out of the way, so yeah, he's definitely doing it to get out of the way, so we'll allow that. We will allow that. So Maxi Toppy now out in the lap as well, 73%, 71% ERS, as he now tries and put it right up into the top there to try and get his McLaren boys some better points than last week, as now Ozgokan into the pits. But we've got drivers, we'll have a look at the grid now from the top. Roshan Robot in P1, Ghost in P2 with that 133.047. Big Man Rye now just puts it up into P3 with that 133.226. JTM in P4, so nicely done for the Alpine lads there again with that 133.373. But now goes down to P5 while Formula Fish now puts it in front of him with that 33.304 with the AlphaTauri in P6. With a 133. Hoof and Hoof in P7. Really putting to the Tier 2 lads from Tier 3 here. Maxi Boy in P8. Shifty Wizard P9. Nemesis Cruz in P10. Who I have had word that he is struggling on this track. His rears are not great. Golf King on in P11. Ognum in P12. The new driver there who is a reserve driver. Evil Blade in P14. Dale Bev in P15. Kano in 16. Lev 17. Kano also with a quali ban. Lev in P17. Ozgokan in P18. Moshi P's with a quali ban as well in P19. Carl Finitza in P20. And these last 5 drivers haven't set a lap yet, except for 2 of them who aren't allowed, obviously. So we'll move on down. We'll have a look to see who is currently on a lap. I know that Ghost is down on another lap, so he's going to try and get a better time that he's on currently. And just like that, the driver in the Mercedes P3, Carl Finitza, putting it up there with that 133.1. He's getting ever so closer to the other lads here, but Ghost now looks like he's just gone a little bit wide, so he looks like he's now backed out. Carl Finitza on his in lap, I believe it is. But Big Man Rye out in the pits. We've got Roshan Robot, who now sets a faster lap with that 132.379. An absolute stonker of a lap. So let's see if the drivers like Ghost or Carl Finitza can really put it to him and set him a challenge to say, hey, I'm here. I think Ghost could be one of the ones that could do that. So Ghost now starting his flying lap by the looks of it as he opens up his DRS. Sitting on those soft tyres, heading up towards turn 1. You want to really brake hard and try and get that car turned in as much as possible and use all the exit on the use all the track on the exit there. Coming into the S's, this is where it gets really tricky for some people. They let off a little bit too much and it sort of sends their car out a little bit too wide. But that was beautifully taken, just nice and flowy. And again, this is where a lot of people just can't get their gearing right. Don't know what gear to be in as he now heads down towards this hard left-hander. Again, towards the back straight. During the afternoon, this point can get very blinding as the sun hits your eyes in a way that you just can't see what's ahead of you. Again, heading to the hard left-hander. All the track on exit. Has he invalidated? No, he hasn't. He's just kept it inside. Nicely done there. As he now heads to this double right-hander apex. Gets it done beautifully. Hard left-hander again. Heading towards this very, very wide right-hander. Goes left. coming around the final turn here. This is the one that can catch a lot of people out. He's gone into the pits. I didn't even notice. All right. So we'll drop down. So pits. Outlap JTM. So we'll jump on board with him. Actually, we'll jump on board with somebody else. Let's see who's out there. Everybody in the pit except for 3 cars on their outlap. And Dale Bev, it looks like he might actually be on an in-lap. Well, here it is. Golf King now. It looks like he's starting his flying lap. We'll jump on board with Golf King. He is the owner of our partner league in Rush Racing League. Guys, if you haven't heard of them, just definitely go and check out their Twitch. They're a fantastic league. Been around for quite some time. I believe they're in their 7th season. I could be very wrong. Forgive me if I am wrong. But they've got a Euro League, they've got a South American League, they've got their Oceania League. They've also got a fair bit of backing behind them. So with Next Level Racing, they've also got, I believe, I can't remember their new one, and Pagnani, who as well. So definitely jump on board with them because there are giveaways and things like that. But if you want to race in another league, it's a league I'd definitely suggest. Again, we've also got our other second partners. We've got Rapid Racing League. Jump on board with those guys as well. Also a very well-established league. Obviously under new ownership now with Noodles and Kahoot. They've got Jishway and I can't remember who else. My apologies, guys. But obviously another great league that have been established for quite some time to jump in on and race with. So following SJ at the moment as he goes very wide, he's heading into the pits. I just keep picking the wrong drivers. So we'll jump on board with JTM currently, who is just about to round out his final flying lap here. Gets around the final corner and goes back up to P4 with that 133.204. So the top 3 are the ones to watch at the moment. We've got Roshan Robot with that 132.379 on his outlap. Ghost on his outlap with that 132.789. And then Carl Finitza with a 133.133. Roshan Robot now starting his lap. So we'll jump on board with him for a little bit and see how he handles this one. Still 4 drivers left to, still 2 drivers, I should say. Lev and Ozgo Kano still yet to set a lap to try and get themselves a little bit further up the grid order. So I'm not too sure what their strategy is. They're leaving it till so late, but they are out on track. So, you know, there's no one in pits there, but there's a lot of traffic ahead as well for Roshan Robot. As Roshan Robot gets a little bit slippy on the exit there, now opens up his DRS. That could cost him a little bit of time. Which could be detrimental if Ghost is on a hot lap as well, which I believe he is. Now heading down to the same section. Gets that nicely done, except also gets a little bit squirrely. Now opens up his DRS as we watch Roshan Robot head back into the hard left-hander. As he takes that nice and smoothie on the exit there. Heads into this double right-hander with a double apex there. It looks to be clean, maybe a little bit squirrely. Tyres maybe just a little bit shot as we're going to go back down to Ghost as he now heads through the same section, takes that very cleanly and quite quick too as he now heads to that hard left-hander. Has Roshan Robot backed out? It looks like he has. As Ghost now heading to the right, herds past Roshan Robot. Is he going to be able to take P1? He invalidates the lap though, as now Lev goes P3 with his time of a 132.818. So one driver who just left it for a last-minute shootout goes into P3 as Maxi Boy now moves up into P4. Carl Finitza in P5. JTM now drops down to P7 as Formula Fish now goes up to P4. Carl Finitza goes up to P5. Maxi Boy P6. JTM P7. Big Man Rye in P8, Ulfenhoof in P9, but we're waiting on Shifty Wizard, who's now entered into the pit lanes. who will round out your top 10. So in P11 we have Camillo, P12 top in the McLaren, Ozgo Cano in the in P13 with the Williams. We've got both both Alfa Romeos, Evil Blade and Nemesis Cruz. In P16 we've got the Ognum, 12 in the Mercedes as a reserve. Golf King and Dale Bevs in the Haas in P17 and 18, and then Kano and Mushy P's rounding out our top our drivers list, who are serving a volley ban. Welcome everybody to the heart of the Lone Star State. That's right, we're here in Texas where the air is thick and the engines are revving. It's round 2 of season 6 and it's a sprint round here in Austin. And as the legendary duo Tim McClure and Mike Blair once wisely said back in '85, don't mess with Texas. So grab your cowboy hats, partners, because we're about to turn up the heat here in Austin. So here's the track then. It's been a while since we returned to the circuit of the Americas, where we were last here in Wallaby's inaugural season, where FFN fought his way to victory. We have 28 laps around here, around this 5.5 kilometre circuit. There are 20 corners, 11 to the left and 9 to the right, with great passing opportunities with the 8 BRS into turns 1, 11 and 12. This track demands precision, daring overtakes, speed and time management. The ultimate test for the drivers out on track today. Sorry guys, my screen just froze. We're going to head into the championship standings right now. Unfortunately, is that in Tier 3? Sorry guys, I'm just going to quickly move over to this one here. Try and get through it as quickly as possible. So while we're waiting for the formation lap to head through, I'll just quickly go through the standings here with you guys as I see them. I didn't realise that people had changed all the layouts and everything. So we're going to jump into the standings here. As you can see them, once they pop up, apologies guys. The championship standings, as we see them. In P20 it's Camillo with Dito in P19, both on 0 points for Ferrari. In 17th and 18th it is Fish and Cruz, also both on 0 points. Blade, Evil Blade and Globdrift also on 0 points for 15 and 16. Magic Shot in P13 with SJ in P14. We've got Big Man Ryan 11th and Toppy in 12th with 3 points. Kano and Lev for the Red Bulls both on 8 and 7 points in P9 and 10. As we move over to Dale Bevs in P14 with Carl Panetta in P8. Mushy P's in P5 with 18 points and Chip the Wizard in P6. In P4 we've got Maxi Boy with Ozgo Kano in P3 with 23 points. And then on to the top step we've got JTM with 28 points and Roshan Robot with a massive 33 points. We'll head back to live play, back to the track. Yeah, Gumbo, they're Magic Shots graphics. What's your point, Left 4 Dead? Sorry, I must have missed it. So we'll have a quick look at the tyre strategy for everybody. Everybody on the medium tyres except for Kano, who starts on the soft tyres. Hopefully he is good at the tyre management, because they will drop off very quickly with everybody else on those medium tyres. But obviously, having left for dead in his ear as the engineer, he's got something up his sleeve, that's for sure. So the lights are on, the engines are revving. I can't see my lights. And here we go. So the lights are out as Roshan Robot stays up into P1, gets a beautiful start, but we're going to see Ghost up the inside of him. Is he going to get the is he going to get the better line? He does. He does get the better line as Ghost now heads into P1 with Roshan now dropping down to P2. We've got drivers like Lev sitting in P3 still fighting with the drivers ahead of him. Carl Finitzer up one position in P4. We've got Formula Fish now up, but we've got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Kano, and that is a safety car already with Camillo out of the standings in P20 from turn, I believe, let's have a look. Must have missed him, but yeah, it's through the S's somewhere along the way. That's really unfortunate. So Kano obviously with the better start there, going up from P19 to P13, but Golf King in P12 for the Haas there, and Dale Bev's up 7 spots into P11. So a beautiful start from him. So do we see Kano head into the pits early off those softs? I don't think so. I think it's a bit too early. He's already gained a little bit of track advantage there. So we'll see how that goes. Kano's lost his wing, so he is going to have to pit. Oh man, that's horrible. I hate to see it. He's had a rough start this season. You know, going from race 1 where I think he dropped out maybe or something happened to this now on the starting lap, on the opening lap. It's a bit rough. You can see in there, no wing at all. Nemesis Cruz in P15. How's he looking? Because I know that he was the one that caused a bit of a collision there, as he's now missing his front left end plate. But I think the big battle here at the moment we're watching is Ghost as well as Roshan and Lev. These three here have been battling from the moment the lights went out. Ghost got the better line on into turn 1, taking the inside line there. Both your drivers, yeah. Which unfortunately Roshan had to go out that tiny bit wide, kept his tyres on track, so it was a fair overtake, very legal overtake. But as he had to go out wide, it's brought Lev right into the battle to try and take that position from him as well. We've got Lev in P3. Carl Finitzer has moved up 1 position into P4. Formula Fish has unfortunately dropped down a position into P5. Maxi Boy is staying where he starts. Same with JTM in the Alpine there, staying where he started in P7. Toppy has gone up 4 positions into P8. Evil Blade up 5. Dale Bev up 8 positions. Golf King up 6 positions. Moshi P's up 8 positions. Hoof unfortunately has dropped down 4 positions. So the Tier 2 drivers are giving him a bit of a rough time, saying you're not welcome here, go back down the bottom of the order. Ognum in P14 has gone up 2 positions, while Shifty Wizzer in the McLaren has dropped down a massive 5 positions. Kano up 3 positions, and that's still after pitting, which is fantastic to see that he hasn't lost too much positions there. Ozgo Kano down 4 positions in the Williams there. Well, Big Man Rye, the biggest loser of the bunch, unfortunately, has dropped down 10 positions, while Nemesis Cruz in P19 down 4 positions. And a very unfortunate mishap for Camillo, who has gone down 20 positions. So after the pit stop from that safety car, we've seen 4 drivers now go to the soft strategy. Kano goes back to another set of softs, so I'm not sure where that's going to leave him with his tyre strategy in the feature race. Ozgo Kano in the Williams has also gone to a set of softs. Big Man Rye with a set of softs, and Nemesis Cruz with a set of softs. So, I mean, obviously, being a sprint race, these guys have, you know, they're going to be a little bit quicker than the guys ahead come towards the end of it. But, You know, for Kano's instance, I don't know where that's going to leave. I mean, it's going to leave him with used softs, but they're only 1 lap old anyway, so they're just scrubbed in. Yep, there you go. Chrome Dog sprint round points go to top 10. And there you go, Left 4 Dead, there were your tyres as you requested. If I don't see your messages straight away, just bear with me, because like I said, I'm not feeling the best, so I'm trying to focus on everything that I can. Yeah, look, I do agree. Sauce will be wrapping until the end, especially with the safety car laps. But you've still got very fresh medium tyres to contend with drivers who can really defend. So, you know, I think... Oh, there it is. Nemesis Cruz just goes right up the back of Big Man Rye and is now out of the session. I don't know what he was thinking. It looks like he wasn't paying attention, because Big Man Rye was there for quite some time before Nemesis Cruz decided to even brake. So I'm not too sure what he was thinking. So the TP of Alfa Romeo now out of the session. That is 2 DNS for the session in 3 laps, with Camilo out on lap 1 and Nemesis Cruz out on lap 3 under safety car conditions. While Roshan Robot and Ghost and Lev start to get ready for the safety car restart, we'll keep an eye on Ghost to see when he goes, because he is starting to back the pack up a little bit now. We might jump on board with him as well, just to see, because he is new to the league, just to see if he knows the rules about not letting off the accelerator and then going. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Abyss. I don't know. So he's holding up the pack very nicely. Hasn't gone just yet. Hasn't really let off the accelerator. He's maintaining a constant pace. He's backed off, actually, a fair bit. No, he's okay. I think this is okay. As he now heads, but he gets real squirrely, which is going to make it easy for Left 4 Dead, as he now tries to capitalise on that error. Heading up into turn 1. He's a bit too far back, though, so he's only 2/10 off. Whereas Left 4 Dead looks like he was caught sleeping a little bit there. He's now 5/10 off as Carl Finitza stays in P4. Maxi Boy gets Formula Fish up into P5. We're going to watch the battle here between these two, as Maxi Boy and Formula Fish now go side by side, but they have now traded positions as Maxi Boy takes that P5 from Formula Fish. JTM's turn to have a go at Formula Fish to see what he can do, as he is now only a couple of tenths behind. But Roshan Robot is very quickly losing time to Ghost up ahead. 7/10, 6/10 off of the driver ahead in P1. We've got a caution already back in P. Virtual safety car. What has happened now? My gosh. We didn't see this type of driving in Tier 3. I'm not sure what's going on, guys. Here it is. A driver in Mercedes Ognum and Evil Blade. Looks like they may have had it coming together. No, probably not, because Blade's a bit too far back. Ognum, though, missing his front wing. Easy Reaper fishing later. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Have you got bait? If you've got bait, let me know. Yes, I said yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I want to try that spot that I found today. No, duck can't say no to fishing. Sorry, language. It really annoys me. Yeah, cool. So, we'll go back to Green Flag Racing. Sorry, talking about fishing there. So, Ghost, still 7/10 up on Roshan Robot with Left 4 Dead. Now, sorry, Left 4 Dead. Sorry, Left 4 Dead. I see what I've done. But Ghost now picks up his first penalty of the day with a 3-second time penalty. And that is really going to hurt him in the battle for P2 and for the battle for P1, I should say. Roshan Robot is now going to take that and start salivating, knowing that he can definitely put it up to him there. Lev in P3 9/10 off the drivers ahead of him, slowly gaining time back into DRS range, while Carl Finitza is only 7/10 behind Lev. So is he going to try and make a move soon? Maxi Boy outside of DRS, unfortunately, but we're starting to see Formula Fish come back, so he may have had a movement that allowed Maxi Boy to get past. JTM in P7 trying to get as much time back to Formula Fish as possible. We are starting to see a bit of a battle here. It looks like we're going 3-4 wide. We're not. Golf King, Mushy Peas. Mushy Peas is trying to make a move on Golf King. Let's have a look to see who does. He goes on the inside line and gets it beautifully done, but Golf King manages just to stay ahead of Mushy Peas. Insane dive, and it was a beautiful dive too, very clean. But oh, there it is. Mushy Peas goes a little bit wide there, so I'd be interested to see if he's got a warning for that. Golf King now starting to gain a little bit of time on Mushy Peas, but Mushy Peas is going to try and come back as he uses a lot of his overtaking system there, his ERS, as he goes to the inside line, cuts it out, beautifully done, leaves enough space for Golf King, and Golf King now settles back into P11 while Mushy Peas moves ahead into P10, puts the foot down and says see you later. But Mushy Peas has a bit of a moment, and that's allowed Golf King to get back up to the back end of him, only 3/10 behind now. So is Mushy Peas going to have another moment? Is he not? We're going to have to wait and see, because Golf King is trying to come back as hard as he can, 3/10, but it looks like up in the battle for P1 and 3, Roshan has had a moment somewhere along the lines and is now 1.2 seconds off the lead, while Lev just taps the back of Roshan Robot there, but Lev is now within DRS range, so this is not good for my boy in the Alpine here as he tries to get something done. We're going to go back down. We're going to see some more positions changed here with Ulf and Hoof now going past Mushy Peas. Ulf and Hoof now moves up into P11. Mushy Peas has definitely had a moment there because Golf King managed to get past him again. And Kano and Big Man Rye starting to go side by side as we're seeing a fair few of cars. There's contact made there as he moves over in a bit of a moment, Big Man Rye, which pushes cars off to the left there. Roshan out of DRS. Yeah, definitely. I thought you said DRS for some reason. I don't know why. So we're going to jump back up to... We're going to watch a bit of Kano. Kano's had a bit of a rough start to the race, obviously losing his front wing on in lap 1 through the S's there by the looks of it. Currently back, fighting his way back up into P13. Only 2/10 off of Mushy Peas. He's going to really try and fight Mushy Peas to get that position, to get past him as quickly as possible. But it looks like he's lost it a little bit through the S's there, and it's caused him a little bit of time. But he is still back on the backside of Mushy Peas, where Mushy Peas is losing some time to the drivers ahead of him in Ulf and Hoof and Golf King. Golf King now 3 seconds behind top in P9, while Dabez managed to get past P9 and is now sitting in P8 quite comfortably, I would say, too. As we're going to head back up into P5 and 6, Maxi Boy and fighting once again. Formula Fish manages to get back past Maxi Boy, goes back into P5, while JTM now all over the back of Maxi Boy. Going to try and make a move down the inside. He sends it down the inside. Is there enough room left? There's definitely enough room left. Now, is he going to get the position done? And there it is. JTM now moves up into P6, out of his starting position, so he finally can put the foot down, pull the trigger, and say, see you later. Now my turn to try and have a go at Formula Fish. Now Roshan Robot slowly reeling back in, Ghost all the way up into P1. Now back into DRS range, whereas Lev is still just holding on to DRS range as well. Carl Finitza still within DRS range of Lev, trying to get that position done to head up into P3. After his team Principal had an absolute stonker of a race in P4, in Tier 4, managing to pull together a victory in the sprint race and a victory in the feature race, as we now head to a caution in sectors 1 and 2. It looks like we've got, there it is, the driver of Toppy is out. Was there contact made that's caused that to happen? Because he is just sitting in a place that I've never seen before, unless he has gone out wide and spun the car and hit that wall on the right hand side and bounced back in. So that doesn't bring out a safety car. Very good to see. But Evil Blade now back down to P16. Volcano also losing a position somewhere. He's in P14. Holds his position, sorry, in P14. Oh, yeah, sorry, it's sprint. Too late for a safety car. Thank you. So, Ghost currently sitting in P1. Not sure if you guys can see him because he is a bit of a ghost. But Roshan Robot, that's a bad joke again. That's 2 in a row. That's 2 weeks in a row for a bad joke. Roshan Robot sitting in P2, trying ever so hard to try and gain as much time as he can to Ghost. But I think he's going to settle for that P2 because Ghost does have that 3-second time penalty, which will bump Roshan back up into P1, and it'll bump Lev into P2, and Panitza, I believe, will stay in P4, if my maths is correct. It's probably not, because I'm terrible at maths. But these two going back at it again with Mushy Peas, and there it is. Ghost now picks up a 6-second time penalty. A 3-second time penalty, putting him up to 6 seconds. But Mushy Peas and Golf King still battling it out for the position of P10. And it is very clean driving. Big Man Rye also has DNF'd. Not too sure where. His DNF'd is pulled into the pits and retired. I mean, not sure why. I would have done that. Would have kept it going. Kano's got damage and is going to the end. That's the move that should have been done for Big Man Rye, because I think damage, it's only the sprint. It's only the sprint. So, you know, the more positions you can get up, the better. So this is a battle that is going on and has been going on for quite some time. But Ozgo Kano now picks up a 3-second time penalty, while Shifty Wizard right behind him is going to be able to gain a position there and move up into P12, while Ozgo Kano will drop down to P13. Where will that put Ghost? Ghost will drop down quite a distance, actually. Quite a distance. But that'll set your grid as Roshan Robot in P1, Lev P2, Carl Finitzer in P3, JTM in P4. So that'll be your top 4, the front 2 rows. So no more battles. Riders are changed. So here we go. Ozgo Kano now manages to get past Golf King as well. Golf King tries to fight back, but just doesn't have the power to do it. Ozgo Kano moves up, drops down to P11 from Mushy Peas. Sorry, I should say he didn't make the move on Golf King. But Ozgo Kano will lose the position to Golf King as well, because he's got that 3-second time penalty. As here we go, we're going to go 3-4 wide. There's contact made again as Golf King just gets a little bit slippy, and Shifty Wizard pulls out of the maneuver so that he doesn't gain any more damage. As now Ghost has had a moment as well. Roshan Robot and Ghost are fighting. Roshan Robot, stop fighting. He's got the penalty. You don't need to worry about him. Just let him have it. If he was forced off and he's got all the evidence that he needs, then yeah, absolutely, he can get it removed. I mean, that's up to the stewards, but he needs to have his race director, as you know. So here it is, on track as we watch Ghost now to go across the line in first place on track, but drops right down to P6 after having 6 seconds of time penalties. Roshan Robot now takes the win in the in the sprint race, sitting in P1 with Lev in the Red Bull in P2. Carl Finitzer in P3. JTM moves up into P4 from P7, so an absolute stonker of a session for him. Dale Beveridge goes up into P5. Ghost again drops down to P6 after that 6 seconds time penalty. Maxi Boy in P7. Formula Fish in P8. Hoof in P9. Mushy Peas in P10. Golf King in P11. Ozgo Kano in P12. Kano 13th after having a bit of damage there, but finishing out the race. But also having the wing change on the very opening lap as well. So unfortunate for him. Dale Bez picks up the driver of the day. Now, take no notice of the points standings there because we do top 10. Basically 10 from P1, right down to 1 for P10. So, Evil Blade manages to get P14, 15 for Ognum, Shifty Wizard in P16, Big Man Rye, unfortunate DNF, Top DNF, Nemesis Cruz DNF, and Camillo in DNF as well. So we'll move over to the sprint results here so they can see the time there. Goffy, I'm on it.
Thank you for your patronage.
I didn't screenshot them. Sorry. But they're on stream. Yeah, Skillsy. Come on, man. What a sprint race. You know, battle between P1 and P2. Unfortunate for Ghost. Just picking up those 2 time penalties there, dropping him a lot further down the order. Obviously a big one for Roshan Robot, my driver in P1 and the feature, picking up that position. Mushy Peas managed to finish the race with damage from lap 1, turn 1. Here we are on the feature race, opening up the formation lap. We've got the grid as we see it. Roshan Robot, Lev in the Red Bull in P2, Carl Finitza in P3, JTM in P4, Dale Bevs in P5. In the Ferrari, we've got Ghost with the unfortunate 6 seconds, Maxi Boy in the Aston Martin in P7. Sorry, Ghost was in P6. Formula Fish in the Ferrari in P8. Ulfenhoof in P9. We've got Mushy Peas in P10. Golf King in P11. Ozgo Kano in P12. We've got Kano in P13, who's going to try and fight this with a vengeance to come back through the pack to try and gain Red Bull as many points as possible. Evil Blade in P14, again a driver who is going to try and fight back with a bit of a vengeance. Ognum in P15, Shifty Wizard in 16, Big Man Rye with the unfortunate retire in P17, Toppy in P18 with an unfortunate DNF, Nemesis Cruz with a very bizarre DNF after making contact with someone ahead. Just didn't see the car in front, or I'm not too sure, but we managed to catch it on stream. And then Camillo in P20, who unfortunately DNF'd in lap 1. So we're going to bring up everything here. So we're going to bring up the telemetry, the lap data, and we'll open up the tyres from the start here. So Roshan Robot starting on the hards, while Lev and Carl Finitza start on the mediums. JTM also on the hards, so it looks like it's a bit of an Alpine strategy there, both starting on the hards. Dale Beveridge starting on the soft tyres. A big call starting on those softs, while Ghost starts on the hard tyres. Maxi Boy, Formula Fish and on the mediums. Mushy Peas and Golf King on the hards. We go to Oz Gokan in the Williams, who starts on those mediums tyres as well. We head up to P13 with Kano on those hard tyres. Evil Blade on the soft tyres. Ognum in P13, in P15 on the medium tyres. Shifty Wizard on the hards. Big Man Rye on the hards. Softs for top. Nemesis Cruz in the medium tyres. And Camillo finishing out the top 20 with the red wall tyres. So that's the noises there. The lights are out. The engines are still revving. Roshan Robot gets an absolute flyer of a start. Is he going to be able to see the same mistake as he did in turn 1? He is. He's going to get run a little bit wide there. Tyres stay on track, and it looks like we've got a bit of damage there. And that's JTM is down and out for the count, as it looks like he has been pushed way off track and is now down into P20. So unfortunately, also losing his front wing. Not too sure what happened there. Didn't see the contact that was made, but that is not good for us Alpine boys, who are really trying to gain another P1 and P2 in the feature race. So I'm not too sure what's happened. Maybe Abyss, if you are in the chat, you could let me know, because I know you're engineering these lads tonight. But Lev managed to get an overtake, what looked like to be an overtake done into turn 1, but just it looked like he let Roshan back through. I'm not too sure if that was the case, or if he just couldn't get grip down. But we're going to start to see a bit of a battle here between Carl Finitza and Dale Beveridge, as Dale Beveridge is trying to get anything that he can on Carl Finitza, starting on these soft tyres. They are going to drop off in about 6 or 7 laps time. As there we go, Maxi Boy now sends it up the inside of Dale Beveridge and now goes up into P4, while Dale Beveridge now dropping down into P5. Formula Fish is in P6, trying hard to chase these guys down, while we've got Ozgo Kano in P7, and Ghost, who has dropped down a few positions into P8, starting on those hard tyres as well, starting from P6 due to his time penalties, as Roshan Robot now sets the opening fastest lap with a 1:38.139. We've got a caution in Sector 3, as we're now seeing Camillo drop down the order to P19, as he made a bit of a distance, as he made a bit of a run up the order there. So position changes. The top 3 stay as they are, as Maxi Boy gets an absolute leading charge up into P4, 3 positions up from his original spot there. Dale Bev staying where he was. Ozgo Kano moves up a huge 6 positions, but the 2 Ferraris really fighting it out, as Formula Fish is really trying to get his driver to get a move on, as he almost goes up the back end. Yeah, not good. Biff, that's all I know. Okay. It's alright. All it takes is one safety car and he'll be back into it. So it looks like Ghost is now starting to lose a little bit of time on Formula Fish, while we're seeing Formula Fish now trying to gain as much time as he can to these drivers ahead. Ozgo Kano in P6. As we move down to Mushy Peas and Orphan as they go wheel to wheel, there's a little bit of contact made, as Orphan sends him out real wide and says, "Not today, thank you very much, sir," as now Evil Blade tries to get into the party as well. More contact, more pushing and shoving done, as Mushy Peas now sends it up the outside of Orphan on his hard versus medium compound tyres. Lev XRT now goes up into P1 with a 1:37.569, so it looks like it might be a DRS battle between Lev and Roshan Robot, but I know that Roshan Robot wasn't feeling too comfortable about this track, so we'll have to wait and see to see how this goes and plays out for him later on down the track. But the fight here between Mushy Peas and everybody else around him is just really forming nicely, as we see a beautiful overtake there from Ognum going around the outside of Big Man Rai through the S's. Beautifully done and beautifully caught from the chopper cam here in COTA. So we're starting to see a bit of a DRS train too, from P12 all the way down to P18. Unfortunately, we've got some time to make up for Camillo and JTM. I'm hoping for a DRS for a safety car to get these guys back in the fight. As DRS now opens up, we're going to start to see a little bit of a change here. As Kano right on the back of the pack here, he's going to want to try and get past this group as quickly as possible, as we're going to see him take a dive down the inside. Is he going to be able to get a position change done? He gets 1. Is he going to get the 2nd? He's not going to get the 2nd, but he gets a nice overtake there on Big Man Rai, as he now aims to get past Top, as through the inside. Toppy now moving out, and Kano goes around the outside. Can he get the position done? He doesn't, while Toppy moves back into P13 and says, "I'm not going to make this easy for you, Kano. We're going to fight hard, and we're going to fight real hard." Kano, though, sitting here biding his time. He's definitely got the pace. He's got the DRS. Evil Blade now gets the fastest lap with that 1:37.562. As Kano now opens his DRS, Toppy opens up his DRS and gets past Golf King. Does Kano get the position done on Golf King as well. He sends it down the inside, but he's got a... Jesus. Very, very nicely avoided by both drivers there, Toppy and Kano. As Kano now heading down through the S's manages to get the position made on Golf King. Beautifully overtaken there. As Golf King now under attack from Big Man Rye. So Toppy up 6 positions, still under attack from Kano with that 3.9. So he will get done under DRS here unless Toppy can get just that little bit far enough ahead to not allow Kano to get that position if he was too far away. But this is one massive straight for DRS to be used. So it looks like let's jump back on board. Wasn't far enough back, but was that a strategic call and say I'll get you on the main straight so that I can get you through the S's and just tear away from you. So Roshan Robot looking at the battle back up the top there. Roshan Robot still sitting in P1 while Lev in P2 now drops back down the auto. We're seeing a yellow flag in Sector 3. What's happened? Is anybody off? Doesn't look like I can see anything major. But here we go. Oh, Dale Bears into the pits. Alright, so DRS is open. Is Kano too far back? Is he going to send it down the inside again? And hopefully this time he can get the position change done in a bit of a better fashion. No, he can't. Unfortunately for him, as Toppy just placing his car perfectly for defense there, saying no thank you to Kano. Absolutely, it's a bloody good battle we're watching here between these two. Really, really respectful driving from Kano and Top. And I bet you anyone, Kano is extremely happy that he's sitting behind Toppy at the moment. Because Toppy, again, is a very respectful driver. Kano knows that, and Kano knows that he can battle him hard without contact being made. Without major contact being made anyway. They will go wheel to wheel at one stage, definitely. But Kano looks close enough to get the position done under DRS. Is he going to do it? He opens up his DRS. Is he going to be able to get past Toppy? 2/10, 1.9, 1.6, 1.3.9 as he now goes down the outside, down the inside. Makes the position change. We're going to swap back to Toppy and the position change is done. And Kano is going to now try and tear away into the distance to say thank you, see you later, Toppy. And Toppy now gets real sketchy on the exit there. And he gets the position lost to Golf King as well. It makes contact with Golf King and gets pushed a little bit wide as well. And he also loses another position to Big Man Rye. And this is what happens when you start on these soft tyres. You start to fall off real quick and your tyres are going to start to get very slippery. I couldn't think of anything then. Tyres, we're going to go back to tyres. Yep, we can do that. Let's go back to tyres. So here we go. So tyres here at the moment. So we've got a safety car, and not a safety car, we've got a car around, and that is Ozgo Kano. He now loses positions to Big Man Ryan Kano. Golf King, is he going to get a position lost to Top? He is as well. He can't get his tyres right. Has he lost damage? Has he got damage? He's lost his front wing, that's why. Yeah, apologies guys for the battle there missed between top 5. I was watching the Kano and Toppy one. But we are going to head back up this way now. I'm going to get rid of the tyres. So Carl Finetza and Maxi Boy now make trading positions as Maxi Boy now goes up into P2. Ognum now picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in pit lane as he's currently sitting in P20, 16 seconds off the pace, while JTM is slowly reeling in Camilo ahead of him in P19, really hoping for a late safety car or a safety car at any stage so that he can try and get pushed right back up to the pack because he's got the pace to get up there and get some position changes done. So Carl Finetza now chasing down Maxi Boy as Maxi Boy now 2 seconds off of Roshan Robot. Ozgo Kano picks up that 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as Lev XRT all over the back of Carl Finetza. Ghost all over the back of Lev XRT. We're going to see some battling here. Heading into turn 1. Is anyone going to dive down the inside? We're not going to see anyone. We're going to see a little bit of contact made from Ghost onto the back of Lev XRT. just giving him a little bit of a love tap, saying, "Come on, get a move on. I know you know I'm here. So hurry up." So Lev now still chasing down Carl Finitza. Carl Finitza managed to gain a little bit more time to Maxi Boy, but Maxi Boy unable to gain more time on Roshan, as Roshan is now slipping further away into the distance. I've brought up tyres so many times, guys. Give me a second. I'll bring them up again. There you go. There's your tyres. You got it? There you go. Done. Tyres gone. Alright. So, back to this battle. I've just missed the overtake. Awesome. So, Lev is now losing more positions to these guys ahead of him. Formula Fish and Ghost now managing to get past, while Lev is also now under attack from Ulfanoof. We're going to ride on board with Ulfanoof. It looks like Lev might have a little bit of damage somewhere. There he is, out wide. It looks like he's definitely got a little bit of damage. He's losing more positions. Losing a position to Evil Blade. Has he got a front left end plate? I don't quite know. No, he doesn't. He's missing that front left end plate, so I'm not sure where contact was made. Apologies, guys. I was looking at the tyres. Managed to miss where the contact was made. So Mushy P is now moving up past Lev, as Lev now entering that pit lane. And now also losing that position to his teammate Kano due to the wing change. But we're going to move up, back up to this battle here for the top. So Carl Finitza managed to get back up into P2 past Maxi Boy. Maxi Boy slowly losing a little bit, losing a fair bit of time actually. 6 tenths now off of Carl Finitza, while Carl Finitza was only 2 tenths off. Ghost 5 tenths off of Maxi Boy. I can't help but wonder, was Ghost involved in that front left end plate of Lev XRT, as Ghost is also out of ERS, but still managing to send it up the inside and gets a double overtake. Is he going to keep it though? He doesn't, as Carl Finitza manages to hold him out, but Maxi Boy loses the position. And here he goes again, as Ghost tries to send it up the outside, but doesn't get the position done once again. Carl Finitza managing to hold him out and just placing his car perfectly for some of the best defense driving I've seen in a very long time. However, this battle here is what is causing them to lose a lot of time to Roshan up ahead, as Roshan is just tearing away into the distance. Carl Finitza, Ghost and Maxi Boy are losing that time to him. They should be working together to try and reel back in Roshan Robot and then start their fighting. Ghost was involved, yeah, I had a feeling. So, after Lev pitting, it drops him right the way back to P16. Goes on to the new set of hards. 12 seconds now behind the pack, so hopefully we can see something there. But from him to try and climb himself way back up into the order there. Now, Carl Finitza losing out to Ghost, as Ghost... May we see a penalty coming later on into the steward's room? I suspect so. I really do. Carl Finitza sitting in P3 is going to be trying to fight back for that position as soon as he can. But he is also under attack from Maxi Boy, who is slowly but surely being reeled in by Formula Fish. And I didn't mean to do the pun there, so excuse the pun. Formula Fish reeling in. As Maxi Boy and Ghost now go side by side. As Maxi Boy gets past Ghost, as Ghost is really fighting hard, and Ghost now into the wall, and that looks like it's going to be a safety car. It is a safety car. So that helps out drivers like Lev, who come back up into the order, and it also helps out drivers like JTM. Now, what are we going to see here? Are we going to see Roshan Robot pit, or is he going to stay out? It looks like he's going to stay out. He's stayed out. So that'll be an engineering call from Abyss there, and I think it's probably the right call, as Carl Finitza now comes into the pits off those medium tyres, because Roshan was on the hards, remember that. Maxi Boy also coming into the pits on those mediums. Formula Fish into the mediums. Hoof and Hoof mediums. We've got Evil Blade on those softs, Ghosts on the hards coming into the pit. That, I think, could have been a mistake, but he also picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in pit lane because he didn't take into account his front wing. And it's just occurred to me that Ghost has somehow survived that wall. And managed to get himself back around into the pits. So I don't know how he's done that, but he's gone to the soft tyres. And now also picks up a 3-second time penalty. So a 5-second time penalty for speeding in pit lane, and also picks up that 3-second time penalty. So his day has just gone from bad to worse after that incident there. But now we're going to bring it up here. Roshan Robot in P1, Volcano in P2, managed to get himself all the way back up into an absolute perfect placement thanks to the safety car. 9-lap-old hard tyres. He's going to be fighting with Roshan Robot. However, he's got drivers who are going to be on the faster tyre behind him. Carl Finetzer on the hards, Maxi Boy on the fresh hards, Formula Fish on the fresh hards. Dale Bez, he stayed out. I believe that's his second pit stop. No, it's not. It's his first pit stop. 5-lap-old mediums. So going on to the mediums from the sprint race. No, I don't think Roshan bottled the strap, man. I really don't. I actually think this is probably a right call. He'll just go on to the mediums at, like, what, lap 17? Yeah, lap 17. He'll go on to the mediums and then fight his way back through. Maybe even 18. Yeah, you get. I don't know. I genuinely think he's got the pace to be able to hold these guys off. You've got to remember as well is that they've got to get past Kano. And Kano is really good at defense, so they've got that going for them. So JTM now currently sitting down in P19, has caught or is slowly catching back up to the pack, which is really good for him. Now sitting on 1-lap-old hard tyres. So he's gone to a fresh set of hards. Because I didn't realise... I thought he did start on hard. So he's gone for a harder compound strategy. But we're going to have a look at the order here. So Roshan Robot in P1 for the Alpine. In the Red Bull, we've got Kano, Carl Finetzer in the Mercedes here in P3. While we've got Aston Martin, Maxi Boy in P4, Formula Fish in P5, Dale Beveridge in P6 for the Haas, Williams in the P7, P8 is Evil Blade, P9 is Big Man Rye, and rounding out the top 10 is Mushy Peas. As Mushy Peas, let me just double check this. Yep. So Mushy Peas is the only, Aston Martin is the only constructor with 2 cars in the top 10, while every other constructor has a car in the bottom 10, with McLaren being the only constructor with 2 cars outside of the top 10. So that's it's a bit of a good one. So War Machine really pushing Shifty Whizzer and Toppy to try and get them up there further. So we can see JTM in the background there. Now back up to the pack. And we're just waiting for Ognum in P20 to catch back up to the pack so that we can go back to full course racing. Green flag racing, I should say. So safety car going around one more lap, which is really helping out these guys on the fresher tyres, but it's also helping out a little bit for these guys here on these harder tyres, on these older tyres. But, we've got a driver around. I know, 2 drivers into the pits. Shifty Whizzer and Ozgo Kano head into the pits. Not too sure why, but let's bring up the penalties while we're at it. So penalties, Ghost now with 8 seconds of time penalties, while Nemesis Cruz picks up 3 seconds. Osgo Kano, 3 seconds of time penalties into the pits, with Ognam on 5 seconds of time penalties also now into the pits. Is he retiring in pit lane? No, they're exiting. So, how about that local football team, guys? I've got nothing to talk about while we're waiting. What was pole? Pole was Roshan Robot after the sprint race for the feature, and I can't remember what the time was. I think it was a 1:32.3 from memory. Yeah, thank you, Magic Shot, for confirming. So every driver making a stop except for the top 2 currently, with Roshan Robot and Kano sitting in P1 and 2, as we're going to see the safety car come in this lap. So we're going to get rid of all of this. And Kano letting Roshan Robot go past again. I'm not too sure what happened there. I missed that. Sorry, guys. We're going to jump on board with Kano. We're going to wait to see when Roshan Robot goes. Is he going to go when everybody else goes, which is usually around the final corner, or is he going to surprise everybody else and go a little bit earlier than normal? You know, I don't think the drivers are going to be aware of when he's going to go, though. He's holding off the accelerator as we speak. And he's gone right before the final corner. He heads off. Everyone has to slow down for that final corner. Roshan Robot gets a good start on that safety car restart. 5 tenths in front of Kano, while Kano now only 2 tenths behind Carl Finitza, while Carl Finitza is dropping back just that little bit. But Carl Finitza is going to have the better tyres on Kano as Carl Finitza looks to the outside to try and make that overtake on Kano on the inside. Is he going to be able to get the position done? Words not coming out of my mouth, but no, he sits right behind Kano, has to back off a little bit as Kano tries to recover his grip, and obviously unable to hold as much as he can. His tyres are cool, and Carl Finitza is going to have the grip to be able to get past him on the inside of this corner. Is he going to be able to go for the attempt? He's not. He's going to stick it up. Oh, there's no contact made, but it is very close. But Carl Finitza has the power down. He's got the better traction. Is he going to be able to get past Kano? He opens up his ERS. Kano has 53% ERS. And we're going to see Carl Finitza now go down the outside with a late braking maneuver. Contact, a little bit of contact there was made, but nothing out of the ordinary. And beautiful racing there by Carl Finitza as he manages to get the position done on Kano, while Maxi Boy also gets the position done on Kano, but also gaining that 3-second time penalty, which is just detrimental to his later stage of this race. While Kano now sitting in P4, Formula Fish now looking to attack him. And all the while, Roshan Robot now back up 8 tenths ahead of the drivers behind. Carl Finitza, though, slowly reeling him in, while Maxi Boy reeling in Carl Finitza. Is he going to be able to make a position done on Carl Finitza? I just don't think so, as we see drivers down here battling. Hoof and Hoof now gets done by Evil Blade. Hoof and Hoof now heading down the straight with Evil Blade just rearing past him, while Big Man Rye looks to try and get a position done, but doesn't. He gets the position changed made on him by Ghost, as Ghost gets past Big Man Rye with that 8-second time penalty. That is going to hurt Ghost a little bit later into the stint as well. While Mushy Peas just backing a little bit off here, but he gets a little bit squirrely, real wide through the S's, and now loses a position to Lev XRT, while Mushy P, Nemesis Cruz now looks to fight with Mushy Peas. Can Nemesis Cruz get anything done? We're going to have to wait and see for that one a little bit later on, because we're going to have a go down to the back here. JTM losing a bit of time. Has he lost his wing again? No, he hasn't. So he's having a bit of a struggle. That's all right, though. I don't mind where he finishes. He's done well tonight. P4 in the sprint. Ognum losing a lot of time. Might be one for the team principals to look at, not team principals, the owners to look at moving him down to tier 3 potentially. But Roshan Robot now under full attack from Carl Finitzer, while Carl Finitzer is on those newer tyres. Maxi Boy and Carl Finitzer are going to try and push in as much as possible. Formula Fish now up into P4. No, Kano fights back and holds position on Formula Fish with a beautiful overtake down the inside, while Formula Fish tries to fight back. Is he going to be able to go down the inside and turn into the final turn? He's not. Ghost now picks up another 3-second time penalty as we now move back up, and that is another driver is around, and that is Big Man Rye, and that is it going to bring out a safety car? It doesn't. It's still green flag racing, and Ghost is also down into P18. He's had that massive moment there somewhere along the way, but Carl Finitzer still only 3/10 off of Roshan Robot, unable to make a position change just yet. Yeah, damage again from rear ending. Okay. Far out. Make sure he gets the clips for this, and and then he can report them. So Carl still unable to get the position done, but now has DRS on Roshan. Now sends it, puts it down the outside, takes the position, and is unable. Roshan is unable to do anything about it while he just sits there and says, all right, I'll let it happen. We're now seeing position changes again with Formula Fish and Kano, while Formula Fish, and there's an incident down the back here as Dale Beveridge looks like he's just lost a little bit of his front wing. I'm not too sure. No, that wasn't Dale Beveridge, that was Evil Blade. Yeah, no, I don't know. Someone has lost something somewhere along the way. Could have been Golf King. We're going to head back up to the front here as we're seeing this battle between Kano and Formula Fish. Kano just holds on beautifully. We're going to have to... Oh, and Kano now makes contact as he heads into the pits. Looks like he was trying to get into the pits, but there was a car next to him, so that could be a massive penalty coming for Kano, as he now looks like he's got... He doesn't have damage, but it looks like he's given damage to a possible Evil Blade. There it is. Evil Blade has his front right wing end plate has been taken off, so that looks like that might be a bit of a steward's inquiry a little bit later for those two lads there heading up to speak to the stewards to give their thoughts. Yeah. That was a really... it was a very dangerous rejoin. Really dangerous. And then to move across like that, bit silly. I think the pressure's just getting to him. But look, it's okay. I know, like... It's hard. It's really hard to see drivers that you've raced with for so long that you know are clean drivers just make silly mistakes like that, because you know they're not like that. You definitely know they're not like that. And when you see it happen, you just sit there and just go, well, what is happening to you right now? The pressure is just getting to you. And it sucks. It really sucks. So Oscar Kano now under attack from Big Man Rye. As Big Man Rye now opens up his DRS. And is he going to be able to get anything done on Oscar Kano, who's also got DRS? But Oscar Kano losing out to Big Man Rye, who's used as much of his ERS as he could. While Oscar Kano now settles back into P9 past Big Man Rye. Camillo in P7. Unfortunately for JTM, he's currently sitting in P15. But it's good for him because it means he's got a point, which is good. Mushy P's Formula Fish in P5 and 4. P4 currently sitting 4 seconds off of Roshan Robot, who is just losing that little bit of time to the lads ahead. But lap 17, is he going to be pitting at the end of this lap? I believe he will be. Knowing the engineer, I think he's going to be calling it here, saying, yep, you need to head into the pits. You've got the time on the guys behind. You're not going to lose too much. and you're not gonna, and you've got the pace to be able to make up the distance to Carl Finitzer and Maxi Boy. So we're going to jump on board with Roche. I'm going to sit on board with him now and watch what he does, because I'm calling it now. P17. Oh dear, duck, bad comms. Maybe not then. Oh, have I missed it? Has he pitted? No, he hasn't. Right, okay. So you're not going to pit him at 17. Fair enough. All good. There he goes, past the pit entry. I mean, Roshan is probably really good at managing his tyres, so... Oh, no. Lap 22, I reckon. Maybe? Nah. I'll let you do your thing. So JTM now moves up into P14, the partner of Roshan Robot, while Formula Fish 3 seconds behind Roshan Robot. Roshan Robot's losing a little bit of time to the drivers ahead in P1 and P2. Mushy Peas in P5, currently gaining a little bit of time to Formula Fish. Hoof picks up the fastest lap on the soft tyres with a 1:35.864. Lev now picks up a 3-second time penalty. So what we'll do now, we'll have a look at the pens and bring them up and see where everyone's at. So Maxi Boy, 3-second time penalty. As I said earlier, it's going to be a bit detrimental to his race later on in the stint. Being up here in P2 could potentially lose a bit of time, a few positions. Camillo with a 3-second time penalty. We've got Ghost now with 11 seconds of time penalty. So that's the speeding in pit lane, and then your 2-3 second warnings. We've got Lev XRT with his fresh 3-second penalty. Nemesis Cruz with 6 seconds. JTM now back into the battle. He's now 1 second off of Nemesis Cruz, but remembering that JTM has rear wing damage from getting absolutely murdered in the back, heading into wherever it was. Kano in P15 now is trying to fight his way back up the order, but could potentially have a penalty looming over his head later on in the steward's room. Hoof and Ozgo Kano in P16 and 17, but Ozgo Kano with that 3-second time penalty. And Evil Blade unfortunately having to change his front wing, and that is Ozgo Kano letting Blade pass by the looks of it. But Bladey now trying to fight his way back up after having his front end plate taken off, and now has to put his head down and try and get back up there. And Ognum rounding out the top 19. Yeah, it's hard. I feel for you, Abyss. Like I said, I feel like you're just wasting your time engineering us. I'm washed. I'm absolutely washed. So Carl Finitzer now under attack from Maxi Boy. However, Maxi Boy has that 3-second time penalty. So is it beneficial for Carl Finitzer to let him pass and just hang in his DRS, or... Because, I mean, it potentially could just let them get away from these guys behind. Formula Fish with that 5 seconds behind P2. Mushy Peas in P4, who had, let's also remember, had that qualifying ban from the sprint race. So currently sitting in P4. Dale Beveridge in P5. Big Ben Ryan 6. Ghost in 7th. 8th, we've got Camillo. 9th, we've got Golf King in the other half. P10, it's Lev with a 3-second time penalty. Nemesis Cruz is a 6-second time penalty. And what's happened here? Roshan Robot down in P12. It looks like Dale Bev has had a bit of a moment. He must have had a moment. He's dropped all the way back down. Same with Camillo, actually. There we go, Camillo into the pits. So Kano in P13 now, while Toppy's still sitting in the points in P14. Dale Beveridge in P12. JTM moving further up the order in P11, which is really fantastic to see. Nemesis Cruz with that 6 seconds time penalty looming over his head. And just look at this. It's just Roshan Robot just making gains. Making overtakes up the order to get himself back up into P8 currently. So he is on the fresher medium tyres, while everybody else let's have a look at the tyres, are on 10-lap-old tyres. You've got 10-lap-old mediums, you've got 10-lap-old softs. They're going to be dropping off in a heartbeat. So he might have another set of softs to go to, or does he have a set of mediums that he can quickly chuck on to try and gain as much, well, positions as he can? I'm not too sure. So Curtis calling in chat, Roshan should get third. I don't think so. If he's moving up the order like this, look at that overtake as he now gets that position done as well. Now goes up into P7, just streaming past some of these drivers. So we're going to watch him for a little bit because this is just phenomenal driving by him as he now cuts out, 3/10 in one corner on Ghost, who is on those 10-lap-old, now 11-lap-old soft tyres. Roshan now almost within DRS range, but isn't going to be able to use it because he wasn't in the DRS detection zone. Now heads down through turn 1 into the S's here. Only 7/10 off of Ghost. So he's going to try. He won't touch the top two, way too far down. We'll see. Lap 21 of 28. I think he's got. I genuinely think he's got the time to pull it in. So now he's got to get. This is the only issue. He's got to get past Fish, who is driving in a manner that is a bit, all over the shop. Contact made there by Roshan saying, get a move on. I can get past you, but is this going to be multiple moves? No, it's not. The Roshan robot now gets past him, but this is the part we've got to worry about as Ghost. Is he going to be able to pull it up in time? He does. Nicely done there. So Roshan robot now 4 seconds down the track from Big Man Rye. He is going to try and put it down as much as possible to catch these guys ahead, to try and make as much moves as possible. Mushy Peas up into P4 currently, 4.5 seconds off of Formula Fish, while Formula Fish in P3 is 5 seconds off of Maxi Boy and Carl Finitza. And you know what though? I've said this before previously, not in this stream. I think just in... Yeah, his Ghost is pretty laggy. Another 3-second time penalty for Ghost as he now enters the pit lane. I've said this previously. I can't remember if it was on stream or if it was just in person to Carl Finitza. I really want a win from this guy. I genuinely think he deserves it. He's a very clean racer, and I would love to see it. And it would make 2 wins for Team Mercedes. So Roshan Robot already pulling 3 seconds off the lap from Big Man Rye. Now within DRS range to 8/10 off of Big Man Rye, who is only 7/10 off of Mushy Peas. So is he going to be able to get the positions done there? Because that'll put him back up into P4. And then also obviously he'll have to chase down Formula Fish, who is 5 seconds up the road from him. Lev XRT also picks up that 3-second time penalty. So Big Man Rye currently now fending off JTM. Oh, sorry, not JTM. Roshan Robot. JTM now up into the top 10, which is awesome to see. And here we go. Roshan Robot now heading down the outside. Is he going to be able to get the position change? Gets pushed a little bit wide. Luckily, doesn't have the warnings for a 3-second time penalty, which is fantastic. As now Roshan Robot moves up into P5. Mushy Peas now ahead of him, 2/10 off. Zoltan, can we see tyres for a second? Yeah, no worries. There's the tyres. Roshan Robot now up into P4 as he makes that position on Mushy Peas. Nice and easy. There you go. Tyres done. So Roshan now is going to try and track down 5.6 seconds to the car ahead of him to hopefully get back onto the podium. And remembering as well that if he can pull in 2 more seconds on to Maxi Boy. Maxi Boy having 3 seconds of time penalties could get him at least into P2. Maybe he can try and track down Carl Finitza as well and take that P1. But I think Carl might be right. I think it's I don't think it's going to happen. But still, now 4 seconds out. So where are the any? Yeah, here we go. JTM and Kano now having a good old battle here between them. Kano in P10 while JTM, and that's a safety car. That is a safety car. That has just helped out Roshan Robot in a massive way. In a massive way, because Carl Finitz and Maxi Boy, Formula Fish, and Roshan Robot are now most likely going to pit for a set of softs. Are they going to do it, or is Roshan Robot going to stay out for track position? We see Carl Finitz and Maxi Boy head into the pits. Roshan, you've got to stop going wide like that. But Roshan Robot stays out and is now... Oh no, what? That was weird. Okay, he didn't stay out. That was really weird. What is happening? Evil Blade has left the session. That's just cooked the lobby. I think that's cooked the lobby. No. Okay, I think we're back. I think we're okay now. It's saying Roshan's in P1. Finitza in P2. Maxi Boy P3. 4, yeah. Only 2 drivers are left in the pit. 3 drivers are left in the pits. But... Oh. Yeah, Lev there. Yeah. Okay, I think we're okay. I think we are okay. Nemesis Cruz has DNF'd under a safety car again. No, he hasn't. Yes, he has. That's Evil Blade. Where's Cruz? Coming up here through the S's. Roshan Robot DNF? What? No, the lobby is cooked. Surely he hasn't DNF'd. Roshan's left the session. What is happening on a Tuesday night? We don't get this sort of stuff happening on Tuesday nights. That's DNF'd him. Well, we didn't rerun it last week, Lefty. You know, and people are having this sort of issues. Far out. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't leave it. Yeah, because we didn't restart it last week. You know, and people were having issues last week too because we were too far into the race. We had to call it. Like, it's unfair if we do it this race, and it's my driver that that's lost out from potential podium. So it hurts us big time. Might need to try a new host next week. Alright, yeah. Oh, that's just shit. Yeah, I'm going to be looking into that Lefty. I'm going to be looking into it. Last week was for server maintenance, apparently. Yeah, well, it's not just my game, man. The game's broken because the host got kicked. And it's saying that JTM is 11th on mine. Oh man. Yeah, but I mean the thing is, Ryan, we raced this night last season, all season, on a Tuesday night. Never had a single issue for maintenance. Not once. So I'm not sure, but it is very frustrating. I mean, look, we can put it to a vote if you guys think a rerun. If you Left 4 Dead, you're a team principal, and we said no to a rerun last week. So me personally, I can't say yes to it. Only reason being is that if I say yes now, it looks so bad because my driver lost out on the podium. It looks freaking terrible. But if you guys are willing for it, I can put it up into a vote, and you guys can put it up and say yes or no, because it sucks. It really does suck. Like I understand, but obviously we'll take it to a vote after this. Yeah, we'll vote it. First time chat radar. Thank you for the raid, mate. Appreciate it. Young Yuki, rating with the party is 6, my guy. Thank you so much for the raid, my friend. We really appreciate that raid. It is, yeah, look, it is Abyss. It is unfair on Roshan because he was the one leading the race currently. I get that. I do. You have to see it from where I'm coming from as well. If I say, yeah, no, restart, it just looks so biased from my position. It looks so biased. And like, I'd get called out like that. In an absolute heartbeat, I would get called out for it. So, it's... Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, tyres. Yeah, I can bring out tyres for it. There goes tyres. Everyone's on softs, pretty much, except for Blade and Camilla. So what we'll do, we'll put it to a vote, though. Yeah, I can see that. Race is fucked. It's a decent lobby, let's put it that way. But I just want you guys to know where I'm coming from. That, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let the drivers vote. I will let the drivers vote, but I just want you guys to see where I'm coming from as to why I can't say yes, restart the race or rerun the race, because it just looks so dodgy. I can't even call this race because I don't know where anybody is. Like, was that a legitimate DNF? Ghost is out. No. Evil Blade's completely ghosted. Well, for all you new viewers, thank you so much for joining. That's, I mean, yeah. $25 or 35%. Yeah, we'll put it into the votes, guys. No stress. We'll do that. That vote will go in tomorrow morning. I'm going fishing. Actually, I'm not even the tier mod. Tier mods can look after that. So Matt Skills and Kirko need to look after that. So going on to lap 28 of 28, it's Carl Finitzer in P1, Toppy in P2. Again, I don't know how legitimate all this is, but I'm just going to call it from what I see. Formula Fish in P3, Maxi Boy in P4, Big Man Rye in P5, Mushy Peas in P6, Golf King in P7. That's SJ, our partner league owner for Rush Racing League. JTM in P8, Kano in P9, Wolf and Hoof and Ozgokan, the two Williams boys fighting it out in P10 and 11. Lev in P12, Camillo in 13th, Dale Bevs in 14th and 15th. We have Evil Blade. Ghost, I don't know, legitimate DNF or not, I'm not too sure. Roshan Robot, it was kicked and DNF'd, so an unfair DNF there. And Nemesis Cruz, I believe, could have been actually the same situation, an unfair DNF. Ognum, yeah, so Maxi is 12th, but it shows him as 4th. Okay. Drifters is saying 7th. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. Alright. Well. Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you. Well then, guys, we might just leave it here, I think, because I think... Oh, there it is. Carl Finet's crossing the line in people. On my screen. Over the top. Yeah. Alright, guys, well, we're going to leave it here. All the drivers, there will be a vote coming through soon as to what to do in regards to this race, because it was cooked. So not too sure what happened at the end there. I know it did start happening from the moment the host was booted from the lobby, but guys, we will fix this up. Just bear with us, give us some time while we figure out what we can do. Alright, guys, again, join us next week join us tomorrow, I should say, for Tier 1, as they head around the track of the Circuit of the Americas, COTA in Texas, to a sprint round, and then heading into the feature race. Can Lefty go back-to-back wins? Can Curtis finally knock him off the top step? We'll have to wait and see for tomorrow. So guys, tune in, 8:30 p.m. AEDT, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, as we go racing 10 laps in the sprint race and 28 laps in the feature.
Thank you for your patronage.